Near, 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 rip a hole in the sun. Welcome to Cum Paude. Why would you cum soft when you can cum louder? Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. We are here for our third installment of the special Week 15 Playoff Powday. How's it going, everybody? We've gone through the top three, the middle three, and now we're going to talk about the bottom two. This is Wednesday. We got two out today, staggered a little bit. Don't know yet if Scooter will have it announced before this drops. Still waiting for him to pick his first round opponent, followed by Heffy and the Cum Sale. So we're talking about seventh place. Doge City coming in hot at 7-7. Projected preseason by Rivaderte Turd for 9-5. Little bit below expectations. Points for, eighth. Points against, number one. Doge City had the most points scored against this year, so looking like he will take home that $30 consolation prize, which is very nice. But also why he may have finished in seventh and not 9-5 as he was projected to. Doge City had 115 points per game. Margin of victory in those 7 wins was only 14. Close games for the Doge City. Doge City's season started out tough. 0-3 out of the gate. Did not look good, but able to string together a couple win streaks here and there, and key wins. Took down the Bird Maydew Talongals, took down Beth's Healthy Twins, took down Hawk Tua, and took down Medusa. All 4 playoff teams. Those were big wins for the Doge. And then you have the other side. Then you got the bad losses. The Doge, out of the gate, when that 0-3 run, got taken down by All Hail ESPN, got taken down by Laporta Potty, both finished 4-10 this year, and more recently taken down by John's Bussy. 3 wins for John's Bussy. One of them was Doge City, and he didn't mean to. He didn't intend to, but it happened. And so Doge City ends up finishing 7-7. But how did he get there? Lost the first couple games, won a couple games. That's how you get in the win and loss column. But out of the initial fabbing, 103 fabtastic dollars to Will Shipley. No more fab, 0 fab, no more waiver wiring for the Doge after that. And it's going to pay off in the future. That is an investment. It will pay off. There's a reason he spent 103 fab, all of his fab on Will Shipley. It's going to pay off. We believe that here at Cum Paude Laude Productions. The other move that the Doge did, which is a little bit of a maneuver to do this, but it ended up paying off, got him some victory points, was signing Austin Eckler for a second-round pick from Dame Judi Dench. And Eckler had a couple of spell games in for Brian Robinson and had some good production, some good touchdowns right out of the gate, and could have generated some W's there for the Doge and getting that 7th playoff spot. Finally, wrapping up the playoff teams in 8th place, squeaking in there, again at 7-7, we're projected to be 7-7 preseason. So we nailed that one, got that right. But hey, points for 9th. Rankings in the standings, 8th. Points against, 11th. Not a lot of points against. Margin of victory, though, in those 7 games, 22. It does help that Week 14 putting up 178 points, 177 points. That's going to help with a 40-point victory in that one. 109 points per game. That is definitely the lowest that we've seen in these 3 productions here. As you would expect, it's going to go down a little bit by a little bit as you drop to the lower ranks. 109 points per game. That is low for a playoff team, so we'll see what can happen. Again, just put up 177 points in Week 14, so we know the team can score. We know the team can put it all together. Was it luck? I don't know. Guess we'll find out. All of the losses this year, 6 of them, 6 of the 7, came from playoff teams. So, that means you can't beat the good teams. You can beat the lesser teams. The seventh loss came to John Wilkes Tooth, the gentleman finishing in ninth place, just shy of a playoff spot. Definitely tough for that team. They had some injuries. They couldn't quite make it. They had some good points for, but it's all about the win column and then the points for. You got to get the wins first. So, healthy Twins losing to playoff teams, good teams. Wilkes Tooth is a good team as well. The big closing win against the Pubic Medusas last week, week 14, a rematch of the championship from last year. Lost earlier in the season to Medusas, so got another win here. Had to play him twice, so that's always tough, but a big win there. And I also took down Dame Judi Dench by 2 points earlier in the season, mid-season, late season kind of thing. So 2 good quality wins there for the Beth's Healthy Twins. But, wasn't able to really put a win streak together. They'd win a game, they'd lose 2, they'd win 2, they'd lose 2, that's something like that. Nothing beyond a two win streak there for this team. So 7-7, finishing in 8th. Not many transactions this year. So I think still the biggest move that this team has had this year was drafting Puka Nacua in previous years. Probably still the biggest move for this team. So, hey, that's a quick Paude. That's running through our top 8. This was episode 3 of 3 for this week's playoff rundown. If there's anybody that has any other topics that want to be covered, shoot them my way, because clearly I've set aside some time to get this production back on the rails. We want to talk a little bit about the 6 teams that didn't make the playoffs. Let's just run through them real quick. So we had the Ron Sword Enterprises, Flaming Johnaria. They were projected at the beginning of the season to be 10-4 with that roster, 10-4. Yet again, this team has big names, firepower, and unfortunately not able to stack it all together. Started breaking their team apart a little bit here towards the end of the season. Looking towards next season, they finished 5-9. Got that one wrong. Then we've got All Hail ESPN. I'm going to lump these 2 together. All Hail ESPN and Laporta Potties. Both were predicted to finish 4-10, and gosh darn it, did they not finish 4-10? Got that one right on the head. 2 of them nailed it. So I think we probably got 4 of these nailed it right on the money there with their final win total at the end of the season. Brian projected 1-13. No, sir. 3-11 for Brian. Well done, Brian. Way to get that. Way to get that 3-11 mark. No, he didn't. He finished 4-10. Who's taking notes here? He finished 4-10. What are we talking about? That's right. 4-10 for Brian, the genocide. Knocking on your door, taking you out, not having draft picks, but looking forward to next year. Going to make it better. Then we had John Wilkes Tooth projected for 9-5, flipped that around 5-9. A little bit injury ridden there towards the end of the season. Wanted to win. One of the nicest owners in the league. Just couldn't get it this year. There's always next year. Curtis Godwin should be coming back from the IR. Hopefully his team can get some help at running back in the draft and turn it around for 2025. And then last and certainly least, Marty McFly, our very own John's Bussy, was projected for an 0-14. We knew he was going to be tanking. We knew he was going to be putting up his worst roster possible. And it was looking pretty good for a while until, oopsie, he started beating a couple teams with that Packers lineup when Jordan Love and Jaden Reed just started playing really well together. Ended up finishing 3-11. Pretty respectable for the last place team in our league to finish 3-11. I like that. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool, as Gene Ford would say. Well, there we have it. That's all the teams. That's how the year went. The year has gone. The playoffs have begun. We're waiting on you, Scooter. Pick your pony. All righty. Good night, Fermi. Good night, Fermi.
Thank you for listening to the official podcast of the Public Honors College Fantasy Football League. Coom quickly, coom often, and coom loud.